is a myth. I want you to say this out loud with me. Balance is a myth. One more time, as loud as you can. Balance is a myth. I do not care that Oprah says it. I don't care that Dr. Oz talks about it on his show, and I don't care that it's on the cover of Real Simple magazine. When you think that everything either has to fit into a work bucket or a life bucket, and then you drop the ball and you feel like a failure, it's doing you no good. It makes you feel like a failure just by thinking, I have to have balance and I don't feel it. Why is so-and-so so perfect on Facebook? Or why did she run the triathlon before she's even gotten to work? Ah! And then you fail and you feel worse. Balance is a myth. Instead, I want you to think about your life and everything that you juggle in terms of harmony. Now, what does that mean? Because it's sort of a cheesy word, right? Let's say that you are all my audience and that you are all in my orchestra. And I'm a maestro. And I have my baton, and I'm deciding from moment to moment which instruments are louder, which ones have solos, how fast do you all play, what's coming up with the percussion, how loud is the percussion going to go. And every moment, just because I say violins are louder, doesn't mean the French horns are less important. It's all super duper important, but from moment to moment, I decide what's taking center stage, how fast it's going to play. But what is one thing that a conductor of an orchestra has that keeps him on track? Anybody know? Sheet music, score, exactly. Now that conductor, he has this so that he knows how to juggle all of these instruments. So why as humans would we think that we should not also have some sort of instruction guide to juggle our own life priorities, right? Here's the thing though, what if that conductor got up there and he didn't know how to read music? Well then it's useless, and then it's going to be chaos, right? The same goes for you. You need to know how to read your life, to read everything that you're juggling, and that's what we're going to create for you today with your life map. I took a trip to surf camp to try to ease the grief after my young husband died unexpectedly, leaving me alone with a new baby, a really difficult job situation, and just right on the verge of the collapse of the economy. And as I stood there on the bow of that little rowboat, being literally standing like this, crying so hard, I had tears and snot running down my face because I'm crying, I had a revelation. I was not afraid of sharks or coral or almost drowning. I was afraid of everything else in my life. Being a single parent, health issues, debt, being alone again, dating again. And as I stood there, I knew I had a big decision to make. Literally and figuratively, should I jump? Now, a roadblock is when you're so scared, you're so nervous, you dig in your heels and you're like, I don't know what to do with this change, and so you sit there and you get stuck. You lay in bed at night worrying, spinning, you get stuck in a job you don't like, you get stuck in a job that doesn't serve you, or you cower like a wuss in a rowboat. Or a crossroads can be a turning point, a defining power moment that can propel you into something amazing, something new, something big, something different, despite the stress, despite the fear, despite the change that goes along with it. I want you to think about a big dream you have for yourself. It can be a personal dream, it can be a professional dream, but something that keeps you awake at night. Something that, man, if you could accomplish this in your lifetime, life would be amazing. I want you to visualize what that one thing might be. Now, I want to ask you a question. Why aren't you accomplishing that right now? What's holding you back from making that dream real right now? When you look at the things popping up on the screen, there's fear, there's worry, there's anxiety, there's all the people that might be judging you if you make a certain decision. And all of that impacts our ability to really step into our goals and to step into our leadership in our life. So Mr. Caveman, he knew true stress because when he would leave his cave, he had two things that he had to worry about: living or dying. That was his stress, right? His neighbor was Mr. Saber-toothed Tiger, and he knew every time he left his cave, he either had to fight the tiger and win, or he had to run away and escape. Two options. Now, when he would see that tiger, his brain and all the nerve cells would fire off and say, oh my gosh, there's something to threaten my potential life. What do I do? And those stress chemicals would kick out, and they would boost his respiration, his perspiration, his heart rate, his blood pressure, getting him ready to either kill that tiger or run away. Now, today, there's a lot more that we deal with. Society, technology, everything's evolved. But our bodies respond identically to stress as Mr. Caveman, the exact same way. But we don't have saber-toothed tigers anymore. Today, we're juggling lots of things, tens of hundreds of things that are after us on our calendars, begging for our attention all the time. And it is all of these things that are amazing and wonderful, but also really stressful, that kicks off that stress response in us all the time. And so we always have these stress chemicals circulating us at low levels. And when that happens, it's more than just an inconvenience. Give me some examples. Throw out how you feel when you're stressed out. Tired, frazzled, anxious, irritable, hungry. That's a good one. And lunchtime is coming, right? Forgetful. It's different for every one of us, but those stress chemicals really signify that very, very earliest sign that, oh, something's out to harm me. I need to do something to fix it. But in today's world, we're always being stimulated by something stressful, even good stuff. So those stress chemicals are in us at low levels all the time, and our bodies aren't designed to handle that. And it's contributing to a lot. It's contributing to the health crisis and epidemic in our society, contributes to the 6 leading causes of death in the United States. Divorce rate, still 50%, directly related to stress. Every time you say yes to someone else, you're saying no to yourself. It's okay to still be helpful, to still want to help make the world a better place. I had a woman who came to me a couple weeks ago and she said, Kristen, I just cannot figure this out because I'm so stressed out. And I said, well, by what? And she said, well, I volunteer at a senior citizen center and I just, And I said, you know, the word volunteer was just in that sentence. And she said, well, I feel like such a bad person. If I quit volunteering, it makes me just like seem like so terrible. And I said, why would that make you feel terrible if you dread it so much? And she said, I do. She said, the day before, I just dread it, and I'm just sick to my stomach the day before. Then the day of, it just wrecks my whole day because I know I have to go after work. And then when I get home, I drink a whole bottle of wine, and then the next day I have a hangover. So it's like a 3-day halo effect from this 2 hours she has to spend doing something she doesn't like. And I said, well, that doesn't seem right. I said, what would you rather do? And she said, I wish I could just volunteer and spend time with animals. And I said, well, let's make the shift. So I encouraged her to do it, and I checked in with her recently, and she made the shift. She said she cannot believe the change in her whole life because that 3-day halo effect of dreading volunteering at the Senior Citizen Center is now joy and excitement over the 2 hours she's spending at the Humane Society. So always remember that just because you don't want to say yes to everything, you can say yes to the right things that energize you, that make you better, that make you happier. Because when you're happy and better and great, you're better for your family, for your friends, and for your coworkers, okay? So please ditch that guilt mindset. You don't have to say yes to everything. The life map is really simple, it's really fun, and it's really powerful because it helps you unload all the stuff that you juggle so that you know your lay of the land. Just like a conductor needs a musical score to know how to harmonize all those instruments, you need a map too. You need to know what your lay of the land is, a guide, so that when you face those big turning point moments, you'll know that you're ready to jump. You can be a leader in your life just by being a role model. What kind of energy do you bring into a room? Are you getting to work in the morning and like, oh, guess what happened to me? Oh, I hit traffic, and oh, then this happened, and then this happened, and you're kind of always a Debbie Downer? Are you always posting negative stuff on Facebook? Or are you the light, bright, and polite person that brings a great energy to the room, makes people smile, makes people happy, makes people think, makes people say, I want to hang out with her? Because that's a critical part of reaching your dreams faster, because you need other people to support you along the way. And if you're bringing that dismal, cranky mood in, there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to want to hang out with you. So always think about how you're being a role model, both at work and at home.
Why do I have a picture of my toilet up here when I'm talking about meditation? Because many people say, well, I don't even have time for a mini meditation. I'm so busy all day long. I don't ever have time to stop. How many of you use the restroom 5 or more times a day? Show of hands. 3 or 4? 5 or more times an hour? 1 or 2 times? 0 times? Okay, so everyone in here, at least once a day, is sort of alone-ish for 30 to 40 seconds. But for how many of you does your bathroom break look like this? You're at your desk or doing whatever you're doing. Oh, go to the bathroom. And you speed to the bathroom as fast as you can. Come on, we're standing. There's guys in here. Go, 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 go. Wash your hands, and you are back doing what you were doing in like 30 seconds. Is that what your bathroom trips look like? Lowest on your priority list every day. If you could not go to the bathroom, wouldn't you all cross it off the to-do list? Yes. I want you to change your perspective on your bathroom breaks. And instead of the speed pee, I want you to do something more like this. Working. Oh, I have to go to the bathroom. Yes, pee time is me time. Woo! All right. And you walk to the bathroom. You do not speed rush. You walk slowly. You take a couple of breaths. And you say, all right, how am I feeling today? Am I stressed out? Am I feeling good? What kind of energy am I bringing? Am I cranky? Am I happy? Whew, all right, now I'm going to go. You don't have to speed. Nobody has to know what you're doing in there. Guys, you don't have to stand. They can see you if you're standing, I suppose. Go in a stall. Do the scan. Start at your toes. Work up and say, okay, where am I feeling stuck? Do I need lunch? Do I need a snack? Do I need to smile? Do I have BRF today? Okay, what do I need to still accomplish today that maybe I'm off track on? Or maybe you're on track. And you can go back, wash your hands. You can go back to your desk, and you can do a course correct. If you're off track and you're not bringing the best energy to the room, you will now know, because of your quick tea time is me time meditation, what you need to shift. If you're on track, great, stay on track. But you now have permission from me to not cross your bathroom breaks off of your to-do list. Enjoy them and use them. And if you're offended by my use of the word pee, stop light, stop sign, hallway, phone call, anytime that you're doing something that you do repetitively throughout the day, just take that quick moment to check in with yourself. Become aware of what you're putting out into the world and what you need to just shift, even just a little bit, to get back on track with where you want to be, to push you back up to the right end of the spectrum of awesome, okay? P time is me time. Don't do it at concerts and don't do it at sporting events when there's a line.